Texoma's #1 rated newscast, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at 6 p.m.
It's a terrible loss.
A Denison man and father-to-be killed in a motorcycle accident last night. How police say it happened. Good evening. Welcome to News 12 at 6. I'm Dan Thomas.
And I'm Maureen Kane. More now on the Denison man who was killed in that crash last night.
News 12's Elena Mendoza is in the studio to tell us why this is devastating two communities. Elena.
Dan and Maureen, police tell me Daniel or Danny Parks lived in Denison with his family, but they have close ties to Sherman as well. He leaves behind his wife and the couple's unborn baby girl.
Police say 31-year-old Danny Parks was killed in a motorcycle accident in Denison Tuesday night. Sherman Superintendent David Hicks says Parks' wife Emily is SISD's Director of Communications.
It's a terrible loss, and we hurt whenever someone on our team hurts.
Even though the couple was new to the area, Hicks says Emily and Danny have been a key part of the school district's success so far this year.
We're talking with her, and we've been with her during the last 12 hours to make sure that the needs that she has are taken care of, and we're there to support and take care of the details that she needs.
Lieutenant Mike Epler says Parks was headed south on the US 75 service road near Morton Street around 11:30 when he hit a curb and lost control of his motorcycle.
It was just a little bit south of Arby's. It was on the on-ramp going from the service road by Arby's up onto 75.
Epler says Parks was pronounced dead on scene.
His body, of course, was a distance away from the motorcycle. He was not wearing a helmet.
The ramp was closed for several hours during the investigation. In the meantime, SISD is meeting to figure out the best way the community can help the family.
I want Emily and her family and Danny's family to know how much we love them, and they're in our prayers collectively as a school family and certainly as a community, and we're there to support them through this terrible time.
Police say there were no witnesses at the scene. If you know anything about this accident, please contact the Denison Police Department. Live in the studio, Elena Mendoza, News 12.
The Marshall County Sheriff's Office is investigating a stabbing that happened early Wednesday morning.
News 12's Rachel Knapp reports.
The Marshall County Sheriff's Department received a phone call around 4:30 Wednesday morning for a domestic disturbance in the Bridgeview area. Now, just a warning, some of the images you're about to see are graphic. This was the scene deputies found. Blood covering the dining room floor, the kitchen, and the bathroom. A neighbor who wants to remain anonymous says boyfriend-girlfriend Carl Nelson and Barbara Mathers, shown here in prior mugshots, have been constantly fighting for 2 years and isn't surprised there was a stabbing.
I told some people around here about a year ago that somebody's going to die over there. And if they don't want to do nothing about it, then something's going to happen. And this is what happens. And she knocked on my door at 3 o'clock last night wanting to use the phone because she said he ran, took off the phone, and she was cut, and I didn't believe it, so I didn't answer the door.
Marshall County deputies were notified of the fight after Nelson left the home and walked 5 miles to a friend's house in Little City.
It's pretty amazing. If you'd seen the blood inside the house, it was amazing that he was able to do that.
Nelson was stabbed on the left side of his gut and had a cut to the right hand. He was flown to a Dallas hospital. Mathers had bruises and cuts on her head, and she was treated and released at a local hospital. Sheriff Kent says they're not sure what started the fight, and they're still investigating.
I'm surprised we didn't have a fatality. There was a lot of blood throughout the whole house.
It's a peaceful, nice neighborhood to live in, and we don't need problems like that.
At this time, no arrests have been made, and charges are still pending. In Marshall County, Rachel Knapp, News 12.
Well, 3 men are facing charges after a deputy is attacked while responding to a fire call in Meade.
News 12's Brittany Harlow spoke with that deputy about why he chose not to use lethal force on his attackers, even though he thought they might kill him.
Bryan County Reserve Deputy Timothy Steele tells us he was responding to a house fire here on Willow Lane in Meade when several men surrounded him.
I've been into physical altercations out on the street before, but it's usually been a kind of a one-on-one situation. I've never been a part of having multiple guys try to attack you at once, so it was a little overwhelming.
It happened on Thanksgiving night. Steele says Michael Stevens was arguing with another man, refusing to listen to firefighters. Steele says the men smelled like alcohol, and he was trying to stop Stevens from going back into the burning trailer when 6 men jumped him.
I didn't feel that it was safe to pull my weapon at that time as close as they were. I felt that they would probably try to take that from me and try to shoot me or somebody else with it.
Steely says he was choked and punched in the face, but managed to use his baton against his attackers.
I would say trying to kill him.
Investigator Nathan Calloway tells us Steely tried to call for backup at least twice on his handheld radio, but was unable to get through to dispatch.
I got negative. Hurry up on that.
Jamie Kirk was arrested at the scene and has since bonded out of jail. A felony warrant was issued for Johnny Kirk for assault and battery on a police officer. He turned himself in and was released by authorities. Stevens was charged with obstructing and resisting an officer.
He's out here wanting to volunteer to serve his community, no cost to this community. And, we have these individuals that have assaulted him. So, that's one thing that's pretty disturbing about it.
Steely said another man refused to render aid to him, instead filming the fight on his phone, which Calloway says is illegal. Calloway says due to the actual fight, firefighters were unable to fight the fire, which is why the home is now a total loss. In Meade, Brittany Harlow, News 12.
A Van Alstyne man is dead, another facing a murder charge after a shooting on a Collin County golf course. John Robert Sim was arrested in a neighborhood near the Hurricane Creek Country Club. Deputies say Sim ran off after shooting Julio Garcia, who died at a hospital. Witnesses reported seeing a man wearing camouflage and carrying a rifle. A nearby homeowner found Sim climbing his fence and directed officers to him. Peter Sears is a member of the club and lives next to the golf course. He says he's seen both men around.
I'm not sure what caused it. I talked to his boss, and he didn't know what caused it either. And they never had any problems in the past.
The sheriff's office tells us the shooting may have followed an argument between the two men. They don't think anyone else is involved.
Well, time to check on weather. Flirting with freezing in our overnight lows. Chief Meteorologist Steve Lenore is here with just how low it's going to get. Steve.
Well, a good recipe for a cold night, Dan. We have a crystal clear sky, not a cloud to be found on there. Winds have gone nearly calm through much of Texas, as you can see. And we have super dry air in place thanks to the front that came in yesterday. So mix that all together and you get that recipe for a cold early winter night. Temperatures already down to 43 in Antlers, 45 Pauls Valley and Ada, and 47 degrees Sherman and Denison. So going into December, going to do it in style with temperatures down close to freezing. Some spots will hit freezing. Warmer tomorrow, but that won't last. Your weekend numbers when I come back.
All right, thanks, Steve. Well, the Marshall County woman who stole $100,000 from her employer has been sentenced.
News 12 Sydney Gray spoke with the victim, who tells us why he thinks the sentence does not fit the crime.
She walked out and left a note on the door, and the key attached to the door said she was through.
Connie Riley worked for optometrist Dr. Harold Wright for nearly 8 years as his bookkeeper, but court documents state that in 2012, Riley started writing unauthorized checks to herself.
Everything in the office is set up on computer. I don't use computers, but I trusted her completely.
Now Dr. Wright is paying for that trust.
It's made it very difficult on us just to survive.
Riley appeared in Marshall County Court Wednesday morning.
Today she received a 10-year deferred sentence, as well as the $120,000 in restitution that's to be paid in a lump sum initially and then paid out monthly over the 10-year period.
Dr. Wright says probation isn't a harsh enough punishment.
But I don't feel good about it whatsoever. You know, it's costing us tremendous money, extremely hard on the practice.
Assistant District Attorney Aaron Tabor says Riley could face jail time if she doesn't make payments.
If she misses a payment or violates the terms of her probation, then we'll be filing the appropriate paperwork and she'll be brought back before the court.
Riley has paid back $21,000 at this point.
It just seems like in this particular instance, crime does pay.
In Medill, Sydney Gray, News 12.
Well, a man got 2 years in state jail and 8 years probation after being found guilty of reckless driving. You might remember this one. Van Alstyne police dash cam showing Roberto Alvarado being arrested in February. Police say that he was speeding north on Highway 5, lost control, rear-ended a minivan with a mother and 2 kids inside. They were not seriously hurt. Investigators say Alvarado admitted that he did it for the adrenaline rush.
And a quick note for viewers, the Sherman Christmas Parade and Snowflake Festival set for Saturday has been postponed a week due to the threat of bad weather. The Snowflake Festival and the parade will now be held on December 10th. That's next Saturday. Festival begins at noon on the square. The parade kicks off at 6 p.m. Oklahoma troopers given a limit to how far they can drive because of budget shortfalls. How this could affect people out on the roads.
Plus, the coaching carousel begins, the major program where an Oklahoma assistant might end up.
And gets banged up.
Oh, hey, high five. Absolutely not.
With Cooper Polly and Bernadette.
He shaved it all.
You're welcome.
Of Stedfer and Rajaman.
Cinnamon's here for a sleepover party.
And the one, the only.
Pasadena's favorite power couple, Shamey.
And that is the answer to the question, what is wrong with eating at the Cheesecake Factory?
Get banged up. The Big Bang Theory.
6 nights a week here on CBS 12.
Stillwater Milling & Davis is your choice for western wear and accessories. Boots by Ariat, Red Wing, Justin, Anderson Bean, and Cinch, as well as Corel fashion boots for ladies. Clothing include Wrangler, Cinch, Woolrich, Miss Me, Big Star fashion jeans, and rock and roll jeans. And be sure to check out our great selection of Brighton jewelry, handbags, and accessories.
Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store.
Are you looking for a real gun shop? Make the short drive to Gun Runners in Ada. And don't miss our indoor climate-controlled gun range. Large selection of reloading supplies and gun parts in stock. Made in Oklahoma holsters by Don Hume, as well as holsters by Blackhawk and Uncle Mike's. We have a large variety of ammo calibers, including .22. Sign up now for our concealed carry classes, and don't miss our selection of Wise Company emergency foods. Gun Runners in Ada, a real gun shop.
The 2015s from G3 are here, and to introduce you to the great new lineup of the exciting all-new 15s, Blackbeard Marine makes the payment so easy there's no reason to wait. Catch the all-new G3 Sportsman 17 powered with Yamaha dependability with a monthly payment as low as $169. Or step up to the Angler V172. Its awesome performance is yours for as low as $195 a month. Check out all the exciting details right now at blackbeardmarine.net. G3, Yamaha, and Blackbeard Marine. Boating your way every day. Blackbeard Marine, Willis, Oklahoma.
At Gold Star Carpet One Floor and Home, we make choosing and installing new floors easy and hassle-free. Hard surfaces are the perfect flooring solution for a busy lifestyle. Classic hardwood and durable vinyl plank flooring can withstand the wear and tear of the whole family. Cleanup will be a cinch with water-resistant flooring. Beautiful ceramic tile will freshen up any room. Installation is fast, and if you don't love it, we'll replace it with our beautiful guarantee. Lifetime installation warranty.
Only at Gold Star Carpet One in Denison.
You want to feel connected, informed, included on every screen in your life. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text Washington. Tell them local stations matter.
From the Weather Authority, here's Steve Lenore.
Well, even though the solstice is 3 weeks away, let's face it, December feels like a winter month, and often the weather matches up with that even before the 21st. And tonight will be no exception. As we go into a crystal clear sky tonight with dry air and light winds, we'll feel that winter's chill with many spots getting down close to freezing on your Thursday morning. Of course, our Tower Cam sponsored by Glen Polk Autoplex and Super Center in Gainesville. Today's numbers pretty close to the average. Compare the 30-year average, what we call the normal, with today's numbers, and we are right in the glove there with upper 50s and mid to upper 30s last night. Temperatures currently are falling off rapidly in this environment, which is very favorable for a quick chill in the air now. Everybody falling through the 40s, except for a couple of spots. Ardmore, Tisch, and Atoka still holding on to 50 along with Clayton, but you'll be moving on down there through the 40s into the 30s, certainly by midnight, if not sooner on that. Of course, again, the recipe is there with the very dry air in place, nearly no wind in the clear sky. That offers up a good chance for the energy to escape rapidly to space, and we cool it down quite quickly. Now, in the upper atmosphere, we talked about it the last couple of days, everything is still meshing together for this rain event on Saturday. Unfortunately, strong upper trough coming in. That'll provide a lot of lift, start to put in some high-level moisture by Friday, and we show that here as a dashed white line. So as that scoots to the east and starts to carve out a big upper-level low, thanks to a lot of jet stream energy feeding around the back of that, that indicates a system that will be a player in our weekend rain event. Then we have little blue X coming out of that, an upper-level disturbance out ahead of the main system. That comes through on Saturday and Saturday evening. So we get strong lifting with this, and that'll help to produce that rain. But you say, well, where's the moisture? It's super dry right now. Well, high pressure tonight's going to be overhead, allowing for very, very cold conditions with nearly calm winds and clear skies. But as the high moves east, we get that clockwise flow, start to pull that Gulf moisture up from the south, and you see this plume of cloud cover with that return flow on Friday and Friday night. So When the blue X comes in with the upper level lifting and we have the surface moisture flowing in as well, we get a good combination for rain developing. And a third feature will be overrunning. Cool air at the ground, warmer air aloft coming up from the south provides that third piece of energy to make for really kind of a classic rain event, folks, for Saturday. Not severe weather, chilly and rainy it looks like. Now tonight, not much happening, so we'll start on Friday when the clouds begin to move up from the south during the day. We'll have increasingly cloudy skies. Rain could develop easily by Friday night. A better chance that rain will come in from south and north Saturday and may linger into Saturday evening. I think Sunday will be a dry day, and then that main upper trough comes in for another shot of rain on Monday. For tonight, going to be a cold one. Could be a light freeze from Ada back to around Hugo, a little south and west of there, just barely above freezing in the mid-30s, but going to be cold. And then tomorrow with the sun out and winds back to the south, not feeling too bad. Temperatures bouncing up into the lower 60s across Texoma with not much wind. The wind tonight nearly calm. Tomorrow's wind only about 10 to 15 from the south, 62 degrees tomorrow, not feeling too bad out there. But then the rain starts to come in Friday night and Saturday. And look at Saturday, just kind of yucky with a high of only 47. Another shot of rain coming up on Monday. As we go to break, here are some Toys for Tots drop-off locations across Texoma. Do your part and give this year if you would.
Promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A covenant that split the skies over Berlin. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A promise was made. A solemn oath that liberated Seoul. A sacred trust that defended KXII. A pact that dug in Da Nang. A contract that weathered Tet. A promise was made. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. A bond that patrolled door to door in Fallujah. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. A promise we all must keep. DAV fights for all veterans and their families so they get the health care, financial benefits, and support they earned. If you're a veteran who needs help or you'd like to help us keep the promise, visit DAV.org.
I'm not in the mood to take no for an answer. You got a problem with authority.
I not only don't have a problem with authority, I pretty damn well define it.
Blue Bloods, weekends, right here on CBS 12.
Get KXII News when you want it. In the KXII app, you can browse through stories to get the content you care about. Categorized by location, local or national headlines, video, or if you want, you can look for anything that is News 12 AM, you can. Save stories to read later, share them with friends or family, and even control the notifications from inside the app. The KXII app is available in Google Play and the App Store. Don't wait to get your news. Get it when you want it.
Well, today, Ardmore Regional Park unveiled 15,000...
Watch News 12 with Dan Thomas. Weeknights at 5, 6, and 10. Right here on CBS 12.
The Oklahoma Department of Public Safety takes drastic steps because of budget shortfalls. Now, troopers are being asked to drive less while on patrol.
As KWTV's Christy Lewis explains, it could take a trooper longer to get to you if your call is not an emergency.
Right now, there are 805 OHP troopers statewide who are responsible for patrolling nearly 112,000 miles of roadway. Those troopers normally have the freedom to go wherever the work takes them, but now, in an effort to cut down on fuel costs, they'll have to manage their mileage, keeping it to 100 miles or less each day.
I understand this isn't popular and troopers aren't happy about this, but we're having to do everything that we can do in order to avoid furloughing people that work for the Department of Public Safety.
DPS Commissioner Michael Thompson says troopers on patrol will be more stationary and save up to respond to calls.
If the troopers are given a call and it exceeds their 100-mile limit, it does. We understand that, but we're just asking our troopers to try to help us get through this crisis.
Last month, OHP's role in public safety was on display near Hammond when Trooper Brian Costanza was the first on fugitive Michael Vance's tail in the final stretch of the manhunt before Vance was killed.
Brian Costanza drove 237 miles to be in position to help his partners and protect people in western Oklahoma. That's the level of sacrifice that troopers make for Oklahoma every day. And we just need support right now from the public.
Wow, yeah, that was Christy Lewis reporting. And you know, they're also cutting down the helicopter flight hours. That's on top of the hiring freeze that they've got in effect right now, going all the way through fiscal year 2017.
Wow, difficult position to be in for them, but also scary for residents of Oklahoma.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there in that regard. Well, I tell you who's not on a hiring freeze. A lot of state universities looking to make a few hires.
Yeah, it's been a busy already off-season for coaches going on right now. Coming up, a rough start for New Texas coach Tom Herman, losing one of his best players to the NFL, and the Sooners could be losing a coordinator with one big-name program taking a good hard look at the OC in Norman.
Have medical conditions and are at risk for a medical emergency, this could save your life. All it takes is 4 easy steps. Place a recent photo of yourself in the pouch provided. Fill out the form. Place one pouch on your refrigerator and the other in the glove box of your vehicle. Then place one sticker near your front door where it will be easily seen, and the other sticker on your vehicle windshield. Pick up your free File of Life packet at the main desk in the front lobby of WNJ or KXII.
This summer,
It's horrible!
get ready for non-stop late-night action.
Here we go!
It's the Late Late Show with James Corden. The stunts are amazing.
You guys will tell me if I look silly, right?
The stars are unfiltered.
Really?
And the comedy is out of control. The Late Late Show with James Corden, a late-night thrill ride.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Weeknights, only CBS.
Show right here on CBS 12.
This is our nightmare. This is our problem.
Well, I've got to tell you, I'm amazed at what you did over there.
You thinking what I'm thinking? You'll end up having a dryer that'll work a heck of a lot better.
I want you to look at that hand.
So you just roll it right on?
Yeah, just roll it on.
Okay.
Godzilla over here.
Listen, I've raised him for a baby.
Chuck, you gonna be able to help us tomorrow? Absolutely not.
Today's Homeowner, right here on your CBS.
When severe weather hits Texoma, you need to keep you and your family safe. Your cable service can keep you in the dark.
Look at this.
Your satellite provider can lose signal.
Here's the tornado.
Your antenna could blow over.
Hi there, Steve.
Stay out of the dark and follow KXII-TV's Weather Authority on our live stream online or with the KXII app.
If your business has experts who can help make mom's life easier, we want to hear from you. Join the Moms Everyday community of more than 1,000 experts across the country and help elevate your business as a local solution for local parents. To become a partner, email us at joinus@momseveryday.com.
Now, your award-winning local sports coverage. Here's David Reed.
The Dallas Cowboys have a chance to win their 11th in a row when they take on the Vikings tomorrow night in Minnesota. And if they do win and everything falls right on Sunday, they could go ahead and clinch a playoff berth. But they're playing for something even bigger than the game this week. The NFL is allowing players to wear cleats to promote the cause of their choice in an effort called My Cause, My Cleats. Players will have a unique look, bringing awareness to cancer, domestic violence, animal cruelty, and many other good causes.
They haven't done it in the past. Typically, if you do something like this, even if it's for a good cause, like you get fined for it. So it's cool that they're allowing us to do it.
They're for testicular cancer. I had it when I was 18. I kind of want to raise awareness for that because I know if I hadn't got myself checked, it might have been a different story for me. So I kind of want to raise awareness.
OU offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley is a hot name in coaching searches right now, drawing interest from Oregon now. The Ducks looking for a new head man. They're also believed to be interested in Western Michigan coach P.J. Fleck. Riley has been the offensive coordinator for the Sooners the past 2 years. The Baylor Bears appear to be moving on in their coaching search with Cal headman Sonny Dykes the new target. Baylor couldn't strike a deal with SMU coach Chad Morris, so they've moved on. Dykes was 19-30 in 4 years at Cal so far. He's the son of legendary Texas Tech coach Spike Dykes. Longhorns running back Deontay Foreman is headed to the NFL, makes his intentions known today after leading the nation in rushing with over 2,000 yards. Foreman leaps to the NFL after meeting the new Texas coach Tom Herman on Monday. The Salina Bobcats will have their chance to advance to the state semifinals when they take on Gilmer this week. The Bobcats have won some hard-fought, close football games in the early rounds, but head coach Bill Elliott expects a completely different kind of game with Gilmer.
These running teams we've been playing, they've been trying to run the clock, milk the clock, just pound it out. Now we're going to have a team that's going to go fast-paced, fast tempo, snapping the ball so fast. We're going to have to be on our toes and be ready, for every one of those plays to come.
Yeah, it should be a fun football game to watch, those two programs.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. All right, thanks, David.
All right, stick around. We'll check your forecast one more time when we come back.
In life insurance benefits are waiting to be claimed. Some beneficiaries don't know they're listed on the policy. Others need help finding the policy or filing the proper paperwork to claim the benefit. The Oklahoma Insurance Department can help you find the money that you're entitled to. Our life policy locator has already uncovered dozens of policies, one worth $150,000. For more information on this free service, call 1-800-522-0071.
At Gold Star Carpet One Floor & Home, we make choosing and installing new floors easy and hassle-free. Hard surfaces are the perfect flooring solution for a busy lifestyle. Classic hardwood and durable vinyl plank flooring can withstand the wear and tear of the whole family. Cleanup will be a cinch with water-resistant flooring. Beautiful ceramic tile will freshen up any room. Installation is fast, and if you don't love it, we'll replace it with our beautiful guarantee. Lifetime installation warranty.
Only at Gold Star Carpet One in Denison.
Stillwater Milling & Davis is your choice for western wear and accessories. Boots by Ariat, Red Wing, Justin, Anderson Bean, and Cinch, as well as Corel fashion boots for ladies. Clothing include Wranglers, Cinch, Woolrich, Miss Me, Big Star fashion jeans, and rock and roll jeans. And be sure to check out our great selection of Brighton jewelry, handbags, and accessories.
Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store.
Are you looking for a real gun shop? Make the short drive to Gun Runners in Ada. And don't miss our indoor climate-controlled gun range. Large selection of reloading supplies and gun parts in stock. Made in Oklahoma holsters by Don Hume, as well as holsters by Blackhawk and Uncle Mike's. We have a large variety of ammo calibers, including .22. Sign up now for our concealed carry classes, and don't miss our selection of Wise Company emergency foods. Gun Runners in Ada, a real gun shop.
The 2015s from G3 are here, and to introduce you to the great new lineup of the exciting all-new 15s, Blackbeard Marine makes the payment so easy there's no reason to wait. Catch the all-new G3 Sportsman 17 powered with Yamaha dependability with a monthly payment as low as $169. Or step up to the Angler V172. Its awesome performance is yours for as low as $195 a month. Check out all the exciting details right now at blackbeardmarine.net. G3, Yamaha, and Blackbeard Marine. Boating your way every day. Blackbeard Marine, Willis, Oklahoma.
Heavy rain. We just had a clap of thunder over the building here in North.
Weather with Steve Lenore. Weeknights on News 12 at 5, 6, and 10. Right here on CBS 12.
Welcome back to News 12 at 6. So high pressure will make for near freezing temperatures tonight across Texoma. We'll start to slide that high to the east tomorrow. A beautiful day. Not much wind, highs in the lower 60s. And we'll start to see it return flow on Friday. So after a clear morning, clouds will thicken, and they'll start to yield some rain Friday night or certainly by Saturday, going 70% on a chilly rain for Saturday.
Gonna need that jacket, Andy.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.